Hey Tone, let's take him to church. Understand this. You will sit here with everything you need to survive in this wicked world. I'm just here to remind you.
Yes, sir.
This is for anybody who has forgotten and got lost. I just want you to let you know one thing. I came to deliver this message. Look. God has blessed you with everything you need. If you look inside, you'll find everything you need. God has blessed you with everything you need. God has blessed you with everything. God has blessed you with everything you need. If you look inside, you'll find everything you need. God has blessed you with everything you need. Let's go. Check it out. Although I thank and praise God for this life of mine, at times I feel like I'm living on the main line. In gin pop with my people like that Gage kind. On a planet that's a prison at the same time. In a place where everybody tries to take our grace. Forced to live in this state as a hated saint. Scared to go cause we don't know our own strength. And when we use it we get told we should withhold our own strength. But check this, God gave our people what we need to be. Conquerors over our enemies are free. And with genetics on our side we're gonna outlast the hate from below that labeled us an outcast. They wanna break us because they ain't us. And we can reproduce in any womb that'll take us. We're blessed by this one true fact. So put a fist up in the air if you're proud to be black. Know that God has blessed you with everything you need. If you look inside you'll find everything you need. God has blessed you with everything you need. God has blessed you with everything. God has blessed you with everything you need. If you look inside you'll find everything you need. God has blessed you with everything you need. Go. One time for the total sum of everything, one and the same. He balances your brain and in your heart she remains. He pushes you to persevere, she keeps you sane. He gives you all your strength and she takes away the pain. He raises up a soldier to lead all that follows. While she feels you when you're hollow and comforts you in sorrow. She nurtures you to build as he teaches you to kill every doubt and every fear until your destiny's revealed. Right. He offers discipline to resist what tempts you. But if you fall, she'll never fail to forgive you. He strengthens you for any weapon formed against you. With compassion to let you know she's always with you. He gives you will and the skill to care for self. But she's the reason why you also think of everyone else. He keeps you in the fight until time's right. That's when she provides you with light to bring you back to life. You know God has blessed you with everything you need. If you look inside you'll find everything you need. God has blessed you with everything you need. God has blessed you with everything. God has blessed you with everything you need. If you look inside you'll find everything you need. God has blessed you with everything you need. God has blessed you with everything. I've got everything. I've got everything. 'Cause I came with everything. I've got everything. I've got everything. 'Cause he gave me everything. He gave you everything you need. He gave you everything you need. She gave you everything you need. He gave you everything. Let the church say. Been so blessed. Sometimes it's easy to lose sight, but don't forget, he gave you everything you need when he sent you.
Can you go 31 days without drinking alcohol? Are you trying to get fit and healthier in the new year? If so, I want to invite you to join the Sobriety and Black families for our second annual Alcohol Free and Fit Challenge 2023. Now for this challenge, there are only 2 rules. Rule number 1, no alcohol from January 2nd to February 2nd of 2023. Rule number 2, you've got your own personal fitness or health challenge. You get to choose your challenge. Maybe you want to lose weight, increase your bench max. Maybe you want to be more consistent in the gym. Maybe you want to run a certain amount of distance in a certain amount of time. Or maybe you want to cut out other things in your life like red meat, pork, sex, weed, whatever it is. You get to choose your own personal fitness or health challenge to go along with the alcohol-free challenge. We even start on January 2nd so that you can bring in the new year however you choose. Now, if you're interested in joining us, you can go to www.sobrietyandblack.com, click sign up, and join us for the Alcohol Free and Fit Challenge 2023. Oh, geez, I always forget this. I always forget to unmute the mic. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year's 2023. All right, we're trying to start off fresh, start off nice. I hope everybody's feeling good, looking good. And if you ain't feeling good, hopefully what I bring to you today will help change all of that. All right. This is kind of part of a series that I'm going to probably start doing every Sunday. So I decided with this being Sunday, first day of the year, why not start now, right? So this is what I call my SOS series. Which basically stands for Sermons on Sobriety. And essentially, I'm going to talk about certain concepts within the book, starting with what's on page 3. For those that are on IG, you may want to go to the YouTube channel because I'll be screen sharing some stuff. But if you stay on IG, most of it will be coming out of my mouth, so you'll be able to listen and hopefully it'll pour into you because that's definitely the goal. If you feel free to comment where you're from, what you got going on. But if not, just sit back, relax, and hopefully, some of the things that I talk about will help you out. And this, these sermons on sobriety, it's not just with regards to alcohol addiction or drug addiction. This really are things and concepts that can apply to any type of struggle, whether you're trying to quit something or start something new. This can be applicable to your life. And so I wanted to make sure that I gave you some of that and also just, kind of give you some insight into some of the things that I wrote within my book. Now, I'm going to start by, first of all, if you're interested in purchasing the book, you can go to sobrietyandblack.com and you'll see a purchase link with a little video about the book. And if it's something that you feel you may be interested in, learning about or getting some information about, definitely feel free to purchase it. And, DM me, let me know what you think. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from from individuals who have checked the book out. Second of all, as you saw in the commercial right before I started, we have the Alcohol Free and Fit Challenge for 2023. Starting tomorrow. Okay. It's starting tomorrow. And so, I'm very excited about that because we did it last year and it was a phenomenal success. And it gives you the opportunity to start the year off healthy, getting better and brighter, and really start off in an optimistic frame by coming together with other people that are also on a similar goal. So with regards to the Alcohol Free and Fit Challenge, there's just 2 parts to the challenge. It's free to become a part of it. And the 2 parts are, 1, we're going alcohol free. That means no liquor liquor, beer, wine, or any of that from January 2nd, which starts tomorrow, Monday, beginning of the week, to February 2nd. All right. So it's 31 days total. So the first part, no alcohol. The second part, you pick your own fitness or health goal that you're trying to accomplish. A lot of people are trying to lose weight. Some are trying to gain muscle like myself. Some people may be trying to focus on a certain area. Maybe you're trying to get abs. Maybe you're trying to get your legs better. Maybe you're trying to increase your speed. Maybe you're training for a marathon or a race. But basically, or you may want to try and quit something else, maybe caffeine or sugar, sweets, some of these things. So it gives you kind of the opportunity to set down the bottle, right? And use that time to focus on some form of self-improvement throughout the month. So if you're interested in joining the challenge with us, you can go to www.sobrietyandblack.com and you can sign up. Once you sign up, I'll be sending you some information that'll help you guide you through the process. I'm also going to be doing some exclusive lives. I will be on Clubhouse actually next Thursday. I'll have the first, I've started an alcohol-free and fit family Clubhouse group that's only for participants. So once you sign up and register, I will send you the link or the invite to join that club with us. And that's where we get to talk about our individual progress. I'll be interviewing individuals, nutritionists, professional weight trainers, people to help you with your mind, body, and spirit so that we can really stay engaged in the challenge. All right. So with that being said, I'm now going to get into what today's sobriety sermon is about. And it's about, if for those who have purchased the book, you know, on page 3, I have a collection. It's about, I think, 4 verses from the Bible. I put the title as Be Sober, Be Vigilant, because I start with, and I'm going to mainly be talking about 1 Peter 5, 8, and 9. Matter of fact, let me put that up there. That way, hey, if you've got a Bible handy, you can go ahead and flip to it, or you can consult Google and just Google that, and you can follow along with us. I'll also be sharing the page itself. Matter of fact, I can do that now. Give me 1 second, y'all. Been practicing these new little things I got here. Here we go. And share. Boom. Okay, so, oh wait, not the whole screen though. Give me a second. Let me tighten that up. Stop sharing. Okay, let me, still learning this thing here. Let's see, share. No, we want to share a specific, no, specific window. This window, share. Boom. Okay. So this is on page 3 before the book even begins, and it's Be Sober, Be Vigilant. And for those on IG, I'll just go ahead and read it. It's actually 4 different Bible passages, but it starts with 1 Peter 5, 8, and 9, chapter 5, verses 8 and 9. And it goes like this: Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Now that's 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8 and 9. And then there's some other verses that go after that I may talk about later. But right now we're going to focus on 1 Peter 5, 8, and 9. And the reason why I put this in here is because this page is actually kind of a prayer that I say to myself when I'm going into situations or dealing with people that could possibly kick in cravings. All right. I'm 11 years sober, so I haven't taken a drink in 11 years. And yet and still I practice reciting this to myself. Right. And so I'm just going to kind of break down 1 Peter 5, 8, 9. I'm going to talk with 1 Peter 5, 8, and then I'll go into 9. So 1 Peter 5, 8, and I'll put it here. I got this. I said I'm trying to be real diligent for those who may not have anything handy. 1 Peter 5, 8 says, Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right. So when we look at this passage, we have the word vigilant, right? So what does vigilant mean? What does it mean to be vigilant? Now, what it means to be vigilant is to be mindful, right? To understand your limitations and your capabilities, really focusing on the difficulties in your path, in the obstacles that you may face. Matter of fact, here we go. So the textbook definition is keeping careful watch for possible dangers and difficulties. So this can not only apply for me, it applies to, the difficulties and the cravings to drink, right? For you, it may be food, sex, smoking, toxic relationships, anything, when you're trying to, make more money, the obstacles that will come in your path, and being mindful, being ever vigilant in looking for those obstacles and preemptive in coming up with solutions to deal with those obstacles. So it's very important in sobriety and in dealing with any form of addiction or any form of self-help right? As we go into this alcohol-free and fit challenge, there are going to be obstacles because you're trying to change something. Remember, improvement is a change just as much as devaluation is a change. And so you have to be mindful of the obstacles that are that could beset your path, that may be in your way, right? You must keep careful watch of these dangers. Now we talk about, it says the devil is a roaring lion that walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. You have to understand that these obstacles are not just things in the road that are static. They're dynamic. They're actually going to be moving toward you. Like, have you ever noticed that when you're trying to do something better, it seems like negative things happen in your life out of nowhere? Like, you're trying to, whether it's trying to get a better job and, your time is being compromised, or you're on some kind of path and it seems like these obstacles pop up out of nowhere. Well, the universe has a way of trying to test you, right? In the Christian faith, they would call that Satan, right? The devil, right? As here it says, the devil walketh about. If you're not a Christian, it just be circumstance. What is it? Murphy's Law. Anybody in Generation X knows about Murphy's Law, right? If something bad can't happen, it will happen. If it just seems like these obstacles seem to come out of nowhere, right? So being mindful and being vigilant, your vigilance in knowing that this could possibly happen is going to put you in a set mind state to understand that you have to prepare for these things, right? Because they're seeking to devour you, right? In the Bible, it talks about to kill, steal, kill, and destroy, right? That's what the thief comes to do. And so if you know that that's going to happen, right? Or you suspect, of course, we want to be optimistic. Of course, you're going to be optimistic that you're going to be victorious. But why are you going to be victorious? Because you're going to preemptively prepare for these obstacles. If you're trying to lose weight and you know that every Sunday after church, you like to eat a slice of cake with, your meal, then that is an obstacle that you need to prepare for, whether it's replacing that cake with something, right? Or figuring out a way to strengthen your will so that you can avoid eating that cake, right? And so there are a few things that in my travels and in my journey to sobriety, I have been vigilant about, and I suggest that you want to focus on, and that's situations, right? Matter of fact, I'll put them down here. Things that you want to be vigilant about and prepare for. Habits. So for me, it was my drinking habit. Situations, emotions, and people. Okay. These are 4 areas where cravings to fall off the wagon, whatever wagon it may be for you. For me, it was alcohol. It could be crack for some. It could be weed. It could be sex. It could be procrastination. It could be a certain emotion, right? It could be low self-esteem, self-defeating mindsets. All of these things are those devils that are a roaring lion that can seek to devour you, right? And so habits, you want to think about the habits that lead you to the thing that you're trying to change or avoid, right? You're trying to look for those habits and say, okay, what I always tell people is, especially when it comes to drinking, because that's what I look at as a recovery coach. I'll ask you, I'll say, okay, the last time you drank, what happened? And most of the time, like for me, my habit would be get off work, go straight to the liquor store, get me a bottle, go home, take my clothes off, put on some regular relaxation clothes, pour me a drink and drink, usually until I got too drunk to really function, or so I could barely function and handle the more important things of the day. So what I had to do was adjust that habit by changing certain things, right? I had to say, okay, it may be, what one thing can I replace with another thing? So instead of going to the liquor store, I would say something to myself like this. All right, I may not, before I go to the liquor store, I'm going to drive here first. So I insert an action. Now, I didn't lie to myself and say, I'm definitely not going to drink, but I'll say, okay, before I go to the liquor store, I'm going to drive to a library and sit down and read for 5 minutes, or I'm going to walk around the block, but I insert something to disrupt that habit loop. And what you'll notice is the more time you put between your craving and the relief you seek, the better chance you have of not operating in it. That's the reason why they tell you when you're angry and you want to never react when you're angry. Put some time between it. You know, you do the woo-saw countdown from 10, because as you're counting down, your anger will dissipate. That heat, that fire will go down, and then you can think more rationally, right? So you want to think about your habits, your morning rituals, your after-work ritual, your pre-sleep ritual, your pre-sex ritual, right? I have a lot of clients who, you know, drinking becomes part of the sex ritual. And then when they quit, they have a problem within the sex area because they don't have that alcohol anymore. You know, and that's just being real. So there are things that you have to do to kind of disrupt that habit loop, and then not do things to try to not go back and revert back and relapse, right? So you want to think about the habits that you have, the rituals. Everybody has them. It may not be with drink, like I said. It may be with food. It may be with, you know, whatever. But you need to think about that when whatever your roaring lion is. In my case, of course, it's alcohol. You want to think about being vigilant of the situations that cause you to crave certain things, right? What situations? Maybe weddings, funerals, celebrations, right? Vacation. You know, a lot of people say, man, it's hard to stop drinking when, you know, I'm on vacation because I'm free. I can do what I want. I can get flat drunk and I don't have to go to work the next day. So I'm thinking about all these rationalizations to drink. And on vacation, all you see, you know, on TV, people vacation, they're sipping, having a good time, TikTok videos, right? Making fun of being drunk on vacation. You got movies, right? Hangover, where it kind of glamorizes the act of drinking. So all of these things can, you know, influence your ability to remain sober, to remain alcohol free. And so you have to think about those situations and prepare for them, right? Prepare for the weekend. A lot of times, you know, even with this alcohol free and fit challenge, we're lucky that it starts on Monday. It's going to be a lot easier for most people because assuming most people work, you know, 8-hour day on Monday, it's a lot easier to get through that first day with not drinking than as opposed to if it started on Saturday. You see what I'm saying? The situations change. And so you have to prepare for those situations. Then you've got emotions. For me, like I've always said before, when my mother passed, matter of fact, I'll put this up here. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, guys. When my mother passed, the grief caused me to go straight to the bottle. I had already prepared for the grief. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to get my bottle, go to the funeral. Then I got so drunk, I couldn't even speak on my mother's behalf. And that's something that's always kind of irked me, right? Like I didn't get up and speak and honor her verbally at the funeral because not only was I sad, but I was also stone drunk, right? And so there's certain emotions that can cause you to drink. Yes, as alcoholics, we may say, well, we always want to drink, but there are triggers. And identifying those triggers, I talk about in the book, talk about stopping the high addiction triggering elements, right? And finding those elements and coming up with a plan for them, because confusion is the enemy of any kind of progress. And so to eliminate the confusion, you can start to prepare for them. Instead of worrying about them, actually dissipate that worry by preparing. And it is going to be trial and error, because if you had the problem solved, you wouldn't be, you know, trying to figure this out, right? So you may try something and it not work. All right, get up the next day, try something different. The next wedding, try something different besides drinking, right? One of the things I did was going to the club. I always want, you know, still back with my younger drinking days, I was going to the club and, you know, I still wanted to go, but the club is a bar, right? So one of the things I started doing was I started ordering I used to drink vodka and cranberry juice. Well, I'd order cranberry juice, but I tell them to put it in a liquor glass. Because before I get a cranberry juice and, you know, they'll give you the big cup. And so you're at the club and everybody else has got, you know, they got their drink or whatever. And you kind of feel out of place because you got this big cup full of ice and cranberry juice. Well, and even if I had to pay for the glass, I paid for it. I figured, hell, I'm there anyway. And for me, in that social context, having that cranberry juice in the liquor glass, yes, looking like I'm drinking alcohol to everybody else, helped kind of calmed me down. Like I didn't feel so out of place, and it made it easier for me to resist the urge to drink. Right? They've got a lot of non-alcoholic brews out there. I'll tell you in a minute. I drink some. All right. And you look at the Heineken Zero and a Heineken bottle, they both look and damn near taste exactly the same. And I challenge you to go try Heineken Zero. If anybody who has will tell you that. Right? Now, some people will say, hey, man, you shouldn't be suggesting that. Hey, man, look, this is my show. I'm going to tell you what I do. All right. So if you don't like it, get out, because I don't do arguments. But I'm going to tell you what works for me. I'm not telling you it's going to work for you, but I'm going to give you what I've got, right? So being mindful of those situations, being mindful of your emotions and knowing which emotions cause those cravings and coming up with a diligent way to address them, right? So that's how we can be vigilant, and being mindful. And mindful and vigilant for me is the same word. I use mindfulness a lot, and I talk about that in the book. There was a meme, a quote I saw that said, sobriety is not owned, it's rented, and rent is due every day, right? And people would say, well, what's the rent? The rent is mindfulness. You must be mindful. It's vigilance every day to understand that I have to head off these things in order to maintain my sobriety. But also understand this. I don't want to scare you and have you thinking that every day you got to wake up like, okay, what's going to go on? After a while, it's going to become first nature. That's what I'll tell you. It becomes first nature. Like for me, I don't have to think about preparing to go to the club now. It's become a habit. Right? You know how they talk about you do something for 21 days. Well, with regards to sobriety, it's going to take a little more than 21 days for it to just, become first nature. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But I will tell you that if you stick to it, you're going to be all right. And that actually leads me to 1 Peter 5:9, all right? Which is, boom, 1 Peter 5:9. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished by your brethren that are in the world. And what that basically, from a sobriety standpoint, is saying is that you can do it because others have. Be inspired by knowing that there are other people who have accomplished this, right? That have dealt with these same afflictions in the world. Connect with other people that have. Seek advice from other people that have. That's why I'm here today. Part of why I wrote Sobriety in Black is I didn't see a lot of literature from Black folks on sobriety. And people who were dealing with alcoholism, most of the people I had encountered when I first started this path did not look like me. And yes, it mattered. Yes, it was easier. It got easier when I saw more people like me overcoming this affliction. And so that's why I recover so loudly, because after people started to see me do it, they started coming to me, asking me questions. They could have went to the closest AA meeting. They could have went anywhere else, but they came to me. Why? A lot of them knew me. A lot of them were old drinking buddies. And then there were people on the periphery I didn't even know. I saw them, whether it was on campus, whether it was at the liquor store, whether it was in the neighborhood. And they would approach me. I've had people that I haven't seen in years hit me up on Facebook and on social media because they see who I am now and they knew who I was. And once they saw that, it gave them, it gave them the strength to say, okay, if he can do it, I can do it too. Especially because I was a worse drunk than most of them. To be very honest with you, I was more hopeless. You know what I'm saying? I was more hopeless, more of a hopeless drunk than they were. So they were like, well, damn, if Hanif can do it, there may be some hope for me. And there absolutely is. Absolutely. Is it going to be easy? You're going to be able to do it cold turkey? Maybe. It's rare. I would say that there's going to be some difficulty because any change is difficult. I don't care if you won $1 billion today. That change, there's going to be some adversity attached to that change. Right? So understanding that, but then saying, hey, there are other billionaires in the world. There are people who won the lottery and they're fine. There are some who fail and there are some who are fine. So if they can do it, I can do it. Same goes for sobriety. Same goes for losing weight. Same goes for quitting smoking or alcohol or drugs or toxic relationship, right? You can do it. And that's what, 1 Peter 5:8-9 is about. It's saying, hey, you've got in 1 Peter 5:8, it's telling you that you need to be vigilant because these negative obstacles are not going anywhere. And to be honest, they will speed up their pace towards you, okay? Especially in the beginning as you walk this path of sobriety or any path of self-improvement. Cakes seem to suddenly start looking more delicious when you decide to quit them, okay? That old ex-girlfriend that ain't nothing, or that ex-boyfriend that ain't, right? He's still, a few days alone and you like, where's my phone at, right? So understand that it's gonna be like that, but you prepare. And like I said, that's why I encourage all of you to go, the alcohol-free and fit challenge. That's why I built it. That's why I started at the beginning of the year. But that's also why I started on the 2nd. So that though I'm not going, I don't want to start you off on the 1st and the night before you're like trying to get through New Year's Eve. And this is for my sober, curious people who haven't quit drinking yet. You're like, dang, but it's New Year's Eve. I was like, look, well, we're not even, hey, we got to crawl before we walk, baby. So do what you want to do. Like I said in the commercial, you can party however you want to bring in the new year. And for those that got it in, tip the bottle up. Hey, that's your business. Get through the 1st today, recoup, and then tomorrow we at it. And I say we, okay? Your brethren that are in the world, we are all working to accomplish overcoming these afflictions, all right? And so that's what it's about. And that's the reason why I put 1 Peter 5:8-9 at the beginning of the book. And this entire passage, which I'm going to read before going out here, before getting on up out of here, because I am basically finished. And I'll be talking about these other passages and also other passages in the Bible, the Quran. I got I don't want to pronounce it wrong, the Hindu book, the Bhagavad Gita or something like that. Because I look in all books, for all kinds of knowledge. And so let me share this one more time here, one more again. Where are we at here before we get on up out of here? All right, there we go. So this is a prayer. Like I said, I've memorized it and I say it to myself. And the 4 passages there, in case you want to write them down, 1 Peter 5:8-9. The second one is Psalms 144, 1. Then it's Ephesians 6:12. And then 1 Thessalonians 5:6. And it goes like this. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Blessed be the Lord my strength, who teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. And on that note, I want to wish you the best. I want to, encourage you to be sober if that is a path you choose to walk. If not, take it for what it is, and in whatever walk of life, whatever self-improvement mission you are on, I hope that you are vigilant in understanding the obstacles that will be in your path and being preemptive in preparing a response to those obstacles. Because the more proactive you are, the better chance you have of seeking and finding victory. All right. So I hope you guys, hope that pours into you. Like I said, if you're interested in anything connected with Sobriety and Black, you can go to sobrietyandblack.com. If you're interested in joining the Alcohol Free and Fit Challenge, you see that ticker at the bottom. You can go to sobrietyandblack.com. I tried to give you just one place to go to get everything. All right. But if you get lost, You can DM me, email me at sobrietyandblack@gmail.com. I'm not hard to find. Forgive me. I'm still learning. I haven't read. Let me see the comments. All right, prepared for plan. Yes. Hey, Happy New Year. 12 Faces of Sober, another good book by a young, good brother, my man, Kenny Watson. I'm looking forward to getting on your podcast, man, and having you on mine. Good to see everybody. Hey, hey, Creole Bell. Hey, what's going on, Marnie? All right, much love, Joe. Hey, but much love to everybody who tuned in, whether you came in for 2 seconds, 2 minutes, or not at all. Hopefully the energy will find you one way or the other. I hope you guys have a blessed day, a great day, all right? And until next Sunday, peace.